Avengers, assemble. Today is another sponsored video from our YouTube membership program. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, you can check out a link in the description below and become an Avenger for just $2.99 a month. One tier gives you access to our entire suite of features, including private members only videos and live streams, sponsored videos, and our private Discord lounge where we host our regular pre-show. Now, with that out of the way, the topic for today is Marvel's Avengers Black Panther. And in the number of things requested for discussion in this video is any information that I found on the Datamine and just in general Black Panther information. In relating to War for Wakanda is how I'm going to take the context of this. So I'll dive into what I can and offer a little bit of explanation and forethought, I suppose, on what I can discern, which is, what I have to offer, so to speak. Of course, as always, I want to thank my YouTube members a great deal, and I'm always happy to take video requests and to provide any kind of information or entertainment that I can. With that out of the way, we're going to first jump into the audio. Now, when it comes to the audio, I, as always, want to thank Emily for her help in putting together these audio files and her working her magic. I really genuinely appreciate that, and it also, again, it just helps. It helps me put out more content and more videos by having someone, very very graciously, spending their time to pull what they can and helping me with this. And again, I really, really do appreciate her help in all of this. So we're going to cut real quick to all of that audio, and then we will wrap back around.
It is done.
Let me know if you need anything, King T'Challa.
Where is this?
That is the question. Jarvis?
I do not know. My instruments are being disrupted by signal interference originating nearby. I have narrowed down its source and am sending the coordinates. Without my instruments in working order, I won't be able to warn you of danger.
T'Challa knows we don't mean him any harm.
The king knows we mean him no harm.
Does he, though?
The signal interference is coming from a device close to your position. It appears to be resonating with the vibranium in Captain Rogers.
Let's get a closer look.
Whoa!
The king and the princess did give me the shield.
And a key to their country, apparently.
Aim!
They must have followed up.
Batter up.
Anyone else have a ringing in their ear?
Yeah, because AIM's using sonic technology.
Sonic? Like vibranium?
Almost definitely stolen vibranium.
If they already have vibranium, what are they doing here?
Good question.
Welcome back, Avengers. Okay, so obviously what you heard was there's a lot of placeholder audio in that as well. And you'll also notice the audio opened with Black Panther. I couldn't definitively tell you who the actor is for Black Panther. It sounds very familiar, but I mean, it would only be speculation. I feel like it will come up in the comments, so I'm going to, of course, go on and get ahead and answer it now, hopefully, for everyone. And that is to say, the files aren't labeled with an actor. You know what I mean? They're this continues to wrap back around with a larger discussion on game development and data mining and on all these kind of issues. But the biggest one is, again, this goes back to kind of similar questions that I get asked, and so I'm going to wrap it up into this video as well, which are labels like actors present or dates that these things unlock, all that kind of information. None of that's present here. That's really in general not how any of this works. So there's nothing to discern there. It sounds a great deal like Christopher Judge. I honestly, but that doesn't mean it is. It just sounds like him. If you don't know, Christopher Judge was the voice of Magneto in X-Men Evolution, which is a cartoon literally I literally just finished an episode with my son. He and I, Anakin, and again, I say finished it with my son. He does watch, but again, he's only just 3.5 months old, so like but he will like look at the TV and watch it. I think he's more enamored with the colors, but I want to start him young. So Anakin and I just finished an episode, and it might just be because that's really just in my head, because Christopher Judge was the voice of Magneto in that cartoon, and so I've just been listening to him, and lo and behold, I'm listening to this, and I'm like, it sounds like him, but I also just watched X-Men Evolution. I don't know. And then also, of course, more renowned probably for a lot of individuals, he is Kratos in the God of War continuation, God of War 4, either way, God of War on the PS4, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to number it, but the PS4 God of War. He is Kratos in that game. So again, it's a variable on whether or not that's just my, if I'm picking it up because I was just watching his Magneto performance, which Christopher Judge as Magneto, that was amazing. That was just amazing. Underrated performance. Just incredible what that show gave us, and I just love it so much. Anyway, I digress, and I know. So we have, so there is that, of course. A lot of temp placeholder dialogue we've discussed in previous data mining videos. That's not new. That's average. That's normal. It's simply a matter of they don't have, the actors' performances yet. In engaging availability, because that was another follow-up question from our YouTube member in a discussion on availability. Again, I could see August. I mean, I really could. I could see August. This is speculation. Again, I want to say there's not a date in the data mine. There's not a date in the game, so to speak, like this will unlock. I just want to continue to point that out. Which again, broken record, I know. So when it comes to it looks done. Tentatively. Again, this is just from an outsider. I didn't develop the game. But in general, like in terms of how much is available for Black Panther versus, again, if you've been following us, how little is available for other characters like Captain Marvel, Black Panther is done. Like this is really, really far along. I feel like if it wasn't for everything that went on in the world, we could have seen Black Panther last year, or at least that's my hope. And maybe I'm just really optimistic, and maybe I'm giving too much credit. I don't know, but there's a lot here. I especially looking at, here we are in April, and we're still, give or take a little bit away if he really does launch in August. And I have to say, I feel like this is a good sign. Obviously this is a good sign. If you wrap back around to our data mines from last year, you will know we have previously covered Black Panther, Wakanda. We've covered all of this before, but there is obviously more now. It is interesting how slow it's been, which again, I chalk up to obviously issues with production, but it's an interesting... It's fascinating to observe, even from a technical standpoint, just for posterity, just for the historical significance, just to observe the timeline and how that seems to have shifted, and wondering like what we can piece together from this, because it's a form of archaeology, really. I mean, if you'll allow me to say that, which again, to each their own. But like I said, what I will say is, he has attacks, he has icons, the characters referenced here, his uniforms are referenced, his outfits are here. There's ample evidence that things are going along smoothly, very smoothly for, fall, summer launch window, whatever you want to put August into. But I think we could see it in August. I guess beyond Black Panther, I guess what the real question is Wakanda, the Wakanda raid, those circumstances, and again, that's still something we're investigating. But I mean, just looking at it tentatively right now, there's plenty here. I mean, it definitely looks like this is not something that, we've just gotten started on. We're not ready for Black Panther. I want to make that very clear. This is a continuation of what we covered, last year in our data mines. Black Panther, Wakanda, Claw, all those seeds were already planted. We're seeing that continued right here today. And again, this is something they've been working on for a while. I think if we look at where things were in September, if we look at where things were in October, we go to where we are right now in April, I think that does, paint a very clear picture on a trajectory of, you know, we were in a pretty good through line. Crisis happened, and things just kind of just dropped into a slow crawl development wise. But again, that's just me looking at a perspective. Obviously, it's difficult to work in this kind of in this situation, no matter what. Whether you're working through the fires that were going on after the game launched, all these different circumstances that were happening. I always want to keep abreast of all that information and make sure we're all super aware of the issues that have plagued the world while this game has been in development, as this game has moved into post-launch. There are references to Shuri as well, so I'm pretty sure Shuri's going to be in Wakanda as an NPC. That's to be expected. She'll probably be in the Outpost. There are references to the Outpost. Again, we've discussed Claw quite thoroughly prior, but in terms of to summarize and to kind of get to the point of the question, is it possible this will be delayed again? Now, again, this is just a perspective that I have. I'm not the developer, and again, this is purely speculation. And August is not an official launch window. They haven't said it's coming in August. They have not said that. This is me looking at everything here going, I mean, again, if everything goes well, I mean, in terms of quality assurance and testing and whatever they have going on behind the scenes in terms of testing, if all of this goes well, yeah, we could really see this in August. We really could. I don't want to say July or whatever, but again, it's just me, just looking at, just speculating on everything that's here. There's a lot here. I mean, the expansion seems to be pretty much thought out, and it's in the game. I'm just in terms of all the basics, I guess you could say. So ultimately, I am very excited. Like I said, we have the audio. There are references to outfits in here. As I've said, we have Shuri in here. We have Claw. We have references to, Claw's minions. We have references to absolutely everything Wakanda related here in the game, which means it is progressing along nicely. They are testing it on the live service. Obviously, as a developer, I'm sure they're testing it continuously, but and maybe again, I guess you could say it's an optimistic window, whatever you want to phrase it as. I really do think, really legitimately, I do believe we could see this launch in August, but that's just me. I want to make sure we're clear on that. That's absolutely just my perspective. There is nothing in the game, in the Datamine and anything whatsoever that says, hey, we're switching, we're flipping the switch in August. There's nothing like that. So I just, want to make sure that's clear. So that goes through all the bullet points that I was asked to cover in this sponsored video. Again, as always, I'm very happy to. Of course, to my YouTube members, thank you so much for your support. It makes this content possible. And as I said, if you're interested in becoming a YouTube member, you can check out a link in the description below to become an Avenger for just $2.99 a month. Beyond that, of course, thank you for checking out this video. I really genuinely do appreciate that you're choosing to spend time here. It means the world. Please do consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with your friends across social media. It helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and YouTube's algorithms. As always, stay safe, take care of others, and have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.